Hey, it's Nicole Butler, and we're on the series for Allow Your Inner Sparkle to Shine. We're with Shalini. How are you, Shalini?
Hi there. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming on. And you're from Washington. Yes, you're living in Washington. How long have you been living there for?
So I'm in Washington State, Seattle. I've been here over 21 years.
Wow, that is a long time. And where
Yes.
were you originally from?
So I'm originally from India, although I was born in Malaysia, but I did a lot of my schooling in India and also in the Middle East before I came to the United States.
Ah, okay, and a question I always hear asked: Are you north, south
Am I
in India?
what? Sorry?
Are you north or south in
Oh,
India?
that's a good question. I'm from the South, so I'm from Bangalore.
Okay, cool. Okay, because I always ask people
Yes.
are always asking that question, right? And
Yep.
it's
Yep.
interesting that that is the question. Um, okay, awesome. Okay, and so what did you find, right? So this is about allowing your inner sparkle to shine, and what did you find that was like a moment, like in your life, where you thought, like that was life changing for you to go, look, I need to change something in my life. Which one was it? Or if there was a few.
Wow. There's definitely a few. but
Yeah.
I guess I will start with, one of the stories, which is when I really came as an immigrant, to the United States when I was 19. And
Mm.
I honestly didn't know what I was doing at that age, but I did know I wanted to be independent. I wanted to, have the opportunity to explore and discover myself. And that was really, and the United States was the land of opportunities. It still is. And that was really, for me, an incentive at that age, which was like, oh, I should apply and, see if I, get my admission, then come here for college to study. And so for me, I would say that was life changing only because,
Mm.
again, I come from a very conservative Indian, family. And it was very hard to convince, especially my dad, to go so far away, 22 hours in a flight. And I didn't really have any family here. I had to come figure it all out by
Yeah.
myself at that age. And so that was hard, but I would say it was luckily for my mom where she didn't quite have that opportunity for herself because she had a college degree, and those days even getting that was kind of hard. She had all
Mhm.
of it, but she never had a chance to work or to be independent because it was all about just raising kids and a big family. There was in-laws, there was just all of that to take care of, so there was never an opportunity for her to get out there and do things. So
Mhm.
she was a big, I would say, motivation and inspiration really, to
Mhm.
get me out there. And so for me, yeah, I mean, if I think about it, that was really my first, I would say, real life changing experience because it was a new country, culture. I almost felt like I was going through an identity crisis, if you
Mm.
will, in a way.
Yeah. Mm. That's a
Yeah.
big move as well,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know,
That was, yeah,
because there's a whole lot of things. It's not just moving a bit further away, it's like a whole distance. And then back then, technology wasn't as advanced as it is now.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, I can resonate with you. My mum had a similar had a similar story. So she had the same thing. She was working, and then she had 5 children. So well, she has 5 children. She passed away last year, so it's kind of,
Um,
I'm trying to work out what one I'm saying, but she does have 5 children,
mm,
and so she was looking after us, and wasn't working.
yeah.
And then obviously I moved out really young with working, and so it was a different type of and then I've had businesses, and she didn't have a business, that kind of thing. So I totally know what you mean, where they're like, they're being caring, and they're looking
Ex-
after them. And I've got 4 children anyway, so I was still doing the caring, but it was I was still able to, you wear your different hats, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's never easy, right? So, you know, there's just moments where, you're like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll see. what life has in store, right? You never know.
Yeah. Oh
But
no.
yes, so yeah, it's been a journey since then. But I would
Hmm.
really think about that as kind of my first kind of transformational experience, if you will.
Yeah, that would have been a real big curve, especially, and I get the dynamics of the dad, like, because, um, generally, well, what I've known is that that, you know, so the men or the sons are encouraged to go out to different, the countries and bring in the money and put it
Yeah,
back into the family. And then whether they want to or not, they still are encouraged, right?
yeah, oh
um
yeah, mm-hmm.
yeah, I found that in my experience. So then, whereas you're a female doing it,
Yeah.
so that did you get some different feelings as well from other family members, or like, how they spoke about it, or
Yeah.
was it like, what was their way of interpreting it, like good or bad, or
Oh, yeah. I mean, because, and this was the other thing, right? Which is my older brother actually was also applying, but he was coming in for his master's. So
uh-huh.
my dad put this condition on me saying, all right, if your older brother gets his visa and if he's going to go, then you can go for your interview and then you can
Ah.
join him. And trust me, I prayed to all the gods is that it actually happens and I can actually go. And yeah,
Wow.
yes. So it's like, I mean, it's a perfect question.
Oh
You
my
asked me, but
god.
that's literally what happened. And then he got his,
Wow.
visa. And then I went for my interview. I got in. It was like, okay, perfect. And it all, you know, worked out.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I love that. Normally it's like, okay, the sun goes out. Okay, he got
Uh,
heaps of money. Why are you still in India? Go over to there and get more money, as into the other sibling, right? And
mhm.
then, whereas you're like, please let me go over there, you know. And, um,
Yes. Yes, it was, yeah, exactly. Very
yeah,
different, but I guess
yeah.
luckily it worked out. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and it is interesting how the stereotypes that
Yes.
that happens, and what's stereotypically correct, as well. Um, yeah, it's different when you're a woman. And so then that would have been inspiring though for your mum as well.
Yeah.
Watching you, seeing you growing, and then actually living out your dreams, because sometimes families want to live out their own dreams through
Exactly.
us, but
Yes.
we both might not have had that situation. I'm thankful I didn't have that. I just could be who I wanted to be, and who I was created to be. But so then what happened next, right? Because I know, so you went there and then
Yes. So I came here and then, again, I did my undergraduate degree, right? And of course, I wouldn't say it was easy because there was just so much, it was like homesickness and then,
yeah.
go figure out your food, you figure out culture, you figure out
Yes,
friends, all of
yes.
it. So it was all at once. So I'm sure I didn't know what I signed up for when I actually came here. But you know what? I think I always believe that, it's in those situations you actually kind of discover your own strength, you discover
Yeah.
yourself. And that's really what happened because it made me so much stronger and it made me feel like, okay, I can do this. And each, just step along the way, I guess I just
Mhm.
kind of figured out what's next, right? I went with that flow. and
Yeah.
and then yeah, I mean, fast forward, I got married. Actually, I finished my undergraduate, I started my master's degree. And of course, like I said, my father being so far away, it already started
Mhm.
the conversations about marriage.
Yeah.
And again, it was an arranged marriage, and he
Oh,
started,
yeah.
talking about it. And luckily, I had a choice at least to, talk to a few men to figure out, all right, if this is even a right fit, etc. So it wasn't
Cool.
like I was just forced into like,
Yeah.
because typically people have a very different vision of an arranged marriage. So it wasn't
Mhm.
that at least I had the time, I had a choice. And
Yeah.
but it all happened so quickly, and I was also
Mhm.
too young to even know,
Mhm.
what actually I was doing, right? I was literally,
Yeah.
yeah, just over like 21, right? So it was just close to 22. So
Mhm.
there was
Uh-huh.
not a lot of thought process, but it happened. I got married. I moved to Seattle. I mean, I'm in Washington State, and so that's why this has been home for me.
Mm.
And yeah, then I started my career in tech. I've literally been all along in the
Mhm.
tech world, and
Yeah.
also had two girls along the way through
Mm.
this journey as well. So yeah, I mean, so that's really how it all, just fast forward really quick. That's the journey.
Wow. I like that you touched on the arranged marriage because I do know, everyone has their own opinion on what that is.
Yes.
Sometimes it can just be you don't get a choice, you don't even get to see them, you just go and marry them, and you have to, otherwise it can be you can choose a few, or choose from a few.
Yeah,
It's nice that
exactly.
you got to have one that was really supportive of your dreams, which
Yes.
is really important, because that is yeah,
Yeah.
that's really, really important to
Yes.
have as a husband that's supportive of your dreams and is wanting you to like step into, who you are even
Exactly.
more. Because we're my moms, it's a
Yeah.
whole it's like a different
Exactly.
thing. And then we're like, whoa, and we have to manage so many other things, but then you still want to pursue your own thing because that's also what's inside of you. You can't just like let it be, quiet and not happen. And
Yes.
then so then you thought, okay, what were you thinking? Like you were like, hey, let's just add some more things to that with some friends. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's like, oh gosh, it's been an interesting, yeah, it's been an interesting ride, right?
Mm,
Along the way, and then just juggling, work and
mm,
kids and all of
mm,
it. Oh yeah,
mhm.
that's a story of itself.
It sure is. I know. I have four, and so there's all different things that are happening on different levels of, you know.
Yes,
But
exactly.
it's a learning. It's a learning thing as well. I think we grow with our children. You know.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Mm,
the girls have, yeah, taught me so much, right? And I think, like I said, just talking a bit about my own background and as a girl and going through all of this,
mhm,
right? I guess I have two of my own,
mm,
which is also, awesome because I get to, tell them my stories, and I tell them,
mm,
how they can be stronger, how can be, more resilient and
yeah.
stronger than, even me or my mom, right? So they learn
Yeah.
through generations. Yeah.
They definitely do. Do you do and obviously you will do Indian customs with them, that kind
Yes.
of thing. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter where you are, you still do it. With my daughter, we still celebrate like Diwali Mela. We get all dressed up. She loves it when she's all
Oh,
dressed in because her
nice.
dad's Indian, and so yeah, so we'll still celebrate that, or they'll obviously do lights and sparklers earlier than Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so we do that, and it's just really about yeah, they're even though you can be in a different country, it doesn't mean you are not doing what also helps you be who you are and where you've come from. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, like we get sparklers. That's so about sparkling. I love that stuff. But it's not what are they called?
It-
Fireworks, because we're not allowed to have them.
exactly. I mean, it's still, it's like your identity, right? I mean, it's like just part of you. It's your DNA, and that's what I
Yeah.
love about, the United States, where, just we have so many people from different cultures, from different backgrounds, and everything's, equally respected, and you're
Mm,
not forced to, you know follow or not follow. So it's
yeah.
really a personal choice of, what you
Yeah.
want to continue doing as your own identity. So
Yeah, that is so. That's in a way that also helps us, um, you know, um, sparkle even brighter because then that way we're able to, like, when I go dressed up in my suits to events, like, it's like Punjabi kind of suits.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, but obviously, like, if I go to the shops, I get different looks. Whereas if I go there, I get different looks too because I'm white. But it's still, like I just love it. I love the clothes and the feel of it, and they're so comfortable, and they're all different, and the embroidery is different. Don't you reckon? Yeah. And have you got your specific shops in Seattle that you do still buy suits from as well? Do they have them over there?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a huge Indian population here,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But I also visit India, like every couple of years. So I obviously do my shopping and
Yes.
I stock it up, right? So I definitely do that as well. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, there are a lot of stores here. So I mean,
Oh,
yes.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Because I find that sometimes, like, when I go to those places, like, there's not anyone ever wearing the same one, like, because there's so many different
Mm,
designs. Oh man, they're just beautiful.
yes.
Um, yeah, I like wearing my favorite colors. And there's Western look. I do that Western look. But anyway, um, yeah. So that's so I just thought I'd like to
Mhm.
let you know, like, I resonate with that. I get that culture. I understand what that would have meant, and that would have been full on. Having to, first of all, moving country is a big thing, but then being away from parents as well, that's a big
Yes.
thing. And and it's just like it's such an inspiration, because there's so much in there that if you haven't lived that,
Mm.
then, like, everything, yeah. So I'm
Yes.
thankful that you did that, because then you're able to help other people. And what are you doing now that you're helping people?
Mhm.
I know we talked about it offline, but did you want to share about that?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. So, I mean, maybe I'll just rewind a bit on how the
Mhm.
wellness journey started. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
about eight, yeah, maybe, gosh, 8 or 9 years ago, where, I was just trying to find this balance,
Mm.
work-life balance, if you will, with the kids and home and all of it. And, my spouse was also traveling quite a bit for work. So, I was literally juggling all of this by myself. And that was a point in time where, I just wanted to find a tool. I wanted to find, some kind of exercise or something that was going to help me,
Yeah.
figure out my own self-care. Right.
Yes.
And so I had a friend of mine who was like, "Oh, you should come and try yoga." And I was like, "Oh my God," I'd seen all this social media posts and I was like, "I don't think I can do any of it." She's like, "Oh no, you should just come, try
Mm.
it out. We'll see how it goes." And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna lie, but the first couple of classes is like literally falling, on my face, and I was looking at everybody around me, and I was feeling, oh my God, so intimidated and embarrassed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just continued because I think that's just me. I always like to try challenging situations and put myself out there because I always feel that's how I learn as well. So I just went
Mm.
there and I said, all right, you know what? If so many people can do it, it's not rocket science. So there must be something.
Yeah.
And when people are doing it for like, 10, 15 years, I said, wow, I mean, this must be
Wow.
something that's, probably
Mm.
exciting.
Mm.
And that was it. So I just continued till I got better at, doing some poses and I could see my confidence, right, just slowly kind of grow. And I think
Oh.
more than confidence too was when I did some breath work. I did a little bit of like
Mm.
meditation classes.
Mhm.
And I felt like that really helped me when I was
Mm.
balancing, like the kids and work and all of it. And, there are always times when you have young kids and you're frustrated. I mean,
Mm.
that happens, right? That's just human
Yeah.
moments. But I felt like, when I got better with yoga and meditation, that there was just
Mm.
a lot more calmness. There
Mm.
was a way to just help me slow down in that moment. So,
No.
like for example, oh God, I remember like I used to pick them up and maybe they wouldn't eat lunch or maybe there was something else, right? And I would get
Yeah.
like all worked up and
Mhm.
but then I realized there were points when, I felt that rush and that sympathetic nervous system kicking in.
Mm. Mhm.
I would just take a deep breath and I would
Yeah.
just say, all right, I'm just going to pause.
Yeah.
And when I didn't say anything, but then when I took that breath, when I paused, and then I got back to the situation in a couple of minutes,
Mhm. Yeah.
I just instantly felt like I was feeling much better. Like I
Nice.
would not react the way I used to react.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So just things like that just made
Yeah.
me hold on, continue practice. And then at one point I said, hey, you know what? I want to learn what I was doing. So I wanted to get certified. I wasn't thinking about
Mm.
teaching, but I was thinking more about learning what I was doing.
Yep.
So that's when I signed up for the yoga certification, and then I did the whole program. And and then a couple of friends were like, "Oh, you should just teach us." I said, "All right, we'll just do like 2 people and just do it for fun." And
Yeah.
it was just word of mouth, and they just told someone, somebody came, and it was like, oh my gosh. So there was a point in time I was literally teaching over like 70 people. Like, so
Wow.
there was different sessions, and I don't know how I honestly did it with kids, work, and all of this,
Yeah.
but I did
Awesome.
it. I was just passionate, I think. And sometimes, like
Yeah.
we just say, when you're passionate, it doesn't feel like you're
Yeah.
doing a job, right? It's not like a chore. You're just
Yeah, definitely.
enjoying it. That's really
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened. And so I just went on, and then of course COVID hit, so things
Oh,
kind of changed, and
yeah.
and then I went virtual, just
Oh, yeah.
teaching just a couple of classes, and so I continued doing it.
Mm.
And the last year I just took a little bit of like a breather with my older one in her last year of high school. I just wanted to
Oh,
spend a little more time, and then the college application, and plus
awesome.
work was also super crazy. I got promoted, so there's like a whole bunch of things that happened at work as
Yeah.
well. So I took a little, kind of, but I always continued my own practice. So I still go to class. I never stopped that. But
Yeah.
just from a teaching perspective, I took a little bit
Yeah.
like a break from that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then this summer, I actually dropped off my daughter in college, and I
Yeah.
realized, wow,
Wow.
you know what? Maybe I have a little more time. I still have a second one she's almost there. And so really that's how, I just got back. I started my wellness podcast. So I've just been, and because I'm also going through my health coach training, I'm actually just getting certified. I get my official certification like next month, but I'm pretty much
Yay.
very close to being done. And so it's a very exciting journey, and I worked with so many people. I actually continue to work with folks one-on-one on just breath work, and just a lot of people just trying to find clarity in life, right? I mean, they're
Mm.
just stuck with
Mhm.
different things in life, whether that's parenting, whether that's career, or like, I don't know what's my passion. I don't know what I want to do, right? So I've been like working with different people, and that's just super exciting for me because I've been at work. I mean, I coach and mentor folks at work as well. So it's just bringing all of that together.
Wow. Wow, yeah. I don't know, it's just so empowering and also inspiring when you're able to, and also encourages us, when we're able to help somebody, like they're stuck and they're just like, what do I do? And then you just work out things with them, and then they're able to move to the next stage of, their season of their life.
Exactly.
And it's just so exciting to even see them later, and they're just doing so well. It's like, um, yeah, it's unexplainable, right? And it is like a passion. You just really want to keep doing it, and yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
I just think
yes.
it's so fulfilling. I mean, just honestly, yesterday, like I got a text from one of the folks I've been working one-on-one, and the individual went through some grief with just losing, a parent, and then they just felt like they were suddenly in the state where they did not have the confidence, right, to just like interview or like go find something, even just from a career move. So they felt like they were stuck in so many different ways, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so over the last couple of months, I've been working one-on-one, where we went through just breath work, we went through affirmations, we went through so many different ways of releasing some of that
Mm,
trauma. And
yep.
yesterday was such an amazing day because I got a text, and the individual said, I just want to share that I actually got an offer from like one of these awesome tech companies. So my interview actually worked, and I got an
Mm,
offer. And
yay.
to me, that was like, it was so priceless. I mean, that was it. That's
Yeah,
all I wanted to hear, which was, because this person a couple of months ago was just didn't know what they were doing. They just didn't have the
yeah.
confidence, right? But just getting out there, going through an interview, and getting a job in a
Mm,
very good company. It's not even like just any company. And I was like, wow, that was it. So that made my day.
yeah, it's nice that you were feeling like part of that, like
Yes.
it's that ripple effect, you were able to then have a ripple effect on them, and then that improved their life,
Yeah. Yes.
and and then they'll then go to that work, and then they'll have a ripple effect, it all just flows, which is like so exciting to be a part of. And I love that you're also excited about, because I get really excited when people are doing really well.
Yep.
My name's Nicole, and it means victory of people. So I get really excited when people are living victoriously. And I love the fact that you're similar, where you're like getting happy about people, improving their life, because, like it's just so exciting, right? When they improve their life, and then it's just like, it's just so amazing when they just see that shift of like, hey, I achieved this, and I can achieve this, and I can achieve that, and then just go to higher heights just because they just did that like one thing. It's just so exciting to be a part of.
Absolutely. I mean, I think for me, really, I mean, like my vision, right, around all of this is really a question that I was asked during one of my leadership trainings, which is, what is a legacy you want to leave behind? And that was a very profound question, which really got me thinking a lot more about this coaching or helping people and, going through all of this, because really at the end of the day, that's what we all want to leave behind. It's like somebody's saying, wow, this person actually impacted my life, because that's what we take. I mean, there's nothing else really that we would honestly take with us, right? So to me, that really resonated with me. And that's really what drives my purpose, drives my vision of what I want to do.
Wow, that's really awesome that you said that, because it is about that. Like it's about, it's more about not us, it's more about them, more about the people around us, and what we're going to be able to, what they're going to be able to think about, and where they can go. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. We're similar in that sense. I think that's why you can keep doing it, and it totally makes sense why you had like a break. When my mum passed away, I needed that kind of break just to focus on me, focus on my self-care. I really was focusing on some family members that a few had cancer, and my son was in hospital as well. So I was really taking a lot about concentrating on them, and then I wasn't concentrating totally on myself. And then I said, no, I needed to have time for myself. And then like, it's just amazing how much once you do that, then you're able to just shine even brighter, and you learn stuff along the way, and you can use that, but then you shine brighter, and you're able to do like be so much more helpful, or so much have so much more of an impact, as opposed to if you just stay stuck, or if you just stayed where you were and you thought, no, I'll just keep doing this. It's like, no, you've got to make some drastic changes and go, nah, we need so you needed that break to like go, because my son, when he was about to finish primary school as well, it was primary school though, I just needed that time just to kind of like concentrate on what he was doing, what he needed medically and all that. And then I was able to go, okay, let's get back to it, So I think you become even better at what you do when you do have that break,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think, life happens, right? So we always have that time to like pause, to reflect, and just, take those moments, right, when you need it. And there is no, I don't know, there's no prescriptive way to say, you're going to keep doing X, Y, and Z, because it's not a linear path. It never is.
Yeah, I know. So true. And so if people were wanting to try and find out like more about your program, or about, doing yoga either online or offline and all that, where would they go to?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they can find me on my website. It's www.mindspacejourney.org.
Okay. ORG. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool. So you're not for profit, or ORG?
Yeah. ORG.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then is it Mind, M-I-N-D?
Yes, it's M-I-N-D. Yes, mindspacejourney.org. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then are you on Facebook and all that, and Insta, or what type?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. It's just my full name. So it's just Instagram.com. The handle is Shalini Tyagaraja. So it's just SHALINITHYAGARAJA.
Awesome.
But it's also on my website, but yes.
Yeah, that's cool. You got it on that. Yeah, I know. It's so much easier, right? Putting it all on our websites, and people just put like go through and just go to the, oh man, websites have really improved since
Yes.
ages ago, and
Yep.
socials, which is awesome. And so you also do wellness information on there as well,
Yes.
do
Yes.
you?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yes, and
Um,
also all about my wellness podcast. So I would love for folks to like tune in and share any feedback. I just completely started this like 2 months ago when I was just randomly thinking about something on a weekend, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what if I start sharing my knowledge about wellness and everything that I'm doing? And that's really how I started the podcast, and then I started actually interviewing guests who are like holistic wellness practitioners. So it's been a fun ride. Like I'm loving it. So yes, I would love for folks to just check out Let's Talk Wellness with Shal, SHAL, on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
wow, that is so good that you do that, because breath work is so important. I found that was really a thing with like my nervous system,
Yes.
with how
Yes.
your nervous system reacts, whether it goes into fight flight mode,
Exactly.
and anything can really make us feel that way.
Yeah.
And breath works really does make a difference. And my 5-year-old will even do breath work.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, and like I have a lot of patience, and sometimes she's like, she'll go, okay, mum, just take a deep breath and then count to 5, and it's like, oh
Aw,
yeah,
that's
because it's,
sweet.
you might be in the shops trying to find something, or you might be driving, and it's like, and then she's just like, okay, just take a deep breath, it's fine, and I'm like, you're right, darling, and it's just like, and then she'll do it herself, and it's just so adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I really wish, I keep thinking in schools, I wish they started young, and teach yoga or like
yeah.
meditation to children, because I feel it's so important, and it's, when they learn this young, it's
Mm,
just so easy for them to just
it
get it as
is.
part of their lives.
Yeah,
But as you know, we all, as we get older, it's harder to bend your body to do all kinds of
I
things.
know. Oh my gosh, I
It's
know,
like,
right? And how do they do that? And because I've done like a bit of Pilates, and I was like, oh my god, am I doing this right? And with childcare centers, because that's also my background. They do it and they do yoga, but like it's more like, okay, let's just put on this
yeah.
YouTube thing and let's just copy what they're doing. And so, like, if they actually had people that were really passionate about it, it kind of
Mm,
explained like
yep,
breath work and why it's important, and
exactly.
in calming yourself, and being in the now and just concentrating on that. I think it would be helpful for children to really concentrate on their breath, because even like I went and had an ultrasound done, and I said, the lady told me to breathe in, right, and breathing in means your stomach goes out,
Mm,
and then
mm.
breathe out, your stomach goes in, and she didn't even know that, and she's like asking people to breathe in and out, and she didn't realize that otherwise you're just breathing shallow. Yeah, and I was like, okay, so it's just simple things that people can do that you can
Oh yeah,
inspire them with and
absolutely.
improve their life with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's so many benefits, right? When you do it. Again, everything in life, right? It's consistency and discipline. So it's not like, it's not a just turn on and off switch where, oh, I'm going to do breath work today and I'm going to be awesome. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it'll probably help you at that moment, but you got to do it over time for you to
yeah,
actually improve your lung capacity and get
yes.
better at all of it, right? So yeah, it's a continued
Yeah.
practice. So
It's a bit like, I'll give you an example. So this is my water bottle, right? And people are like, some people are like, how can you drink that much water? But I love water. It's just amazing. And
mhm.
some people can't drink water. And it's like, if you just start out a little bit at a time, just
Yep.
the little things, and then
Yep.
you slowly get to it. And then I start off with a little drink bottle. And then my daughter was like, you got to get this bigger one. And it was half the size. And then the next one, she was like, you got to get this even bigger one. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah, sure. Okay. And it's like, you don't have to fill it up as much, Mum. And I was like, oh, okay. And then
That's so sweet. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think everything, right? It's all about small, sustainable habits because I mean,
yeah.
you can't just go crazy because you're gonna just burn out. You would rather
Yeah.
start small and then just,
Yeah.
incrementally kind of build to it. So, yep.
Yeah. And I think that's an important, valid point because sometimes our bodies can't even take on that. Like some people
Yep.
would do it to their excess, and whereas if you just do a little bit at a time and then a little bit at a time and then you just grow it, then it's more of a routine. It's more of a, then you just, so there's
Yep.
definitely lots of things that we can, improve in ourselves.
Yep.
And health is one very important thing.
Oh yeah, exactly, right? Regardless of your age. I mean, you just need that. As long as we're here, we're all alive in this planet, we need it. So,
Yeah,
yep.
it is. It is. It is. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Did you want to say any last parting words before we finish?
No, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I'm so excited to connect with somebody, just across the globe, actually, because
Yay!
I'm all the way on this side and you're like, in Australia. So, I mean, I'm just so excited and thankful to
Yeah.
have this conversation with you.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you coming on board. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to learning off you as well with more of your
Yeah,
wellness
absolutely.
information. It'll be good. And then watching you make more people sparkle and shine and just really, improving their life and loving it. Such an important cause. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole.
Okay, bye everyone.